Don't do this, don't touch. Remember, Mom has that whole shield. Do not touch her when she's in an emotional state. Before it was diagnosed, we knew something was happening. People couldn't figure it out. So our prayer was that we can be strong through this.
You know, every day I wake up and I'm going to the office and I sit next to the office my father sat at for years. I'm wondering how am I going to get through this day.
There's been times where other people have gone through struggles and you're never quite sure what to say to them. And then when you're in it, it's even harder to then accept what sometimes people are saying to you.
Michael was diagnosed with ALS in August of 14. His symptoms started in August of 13 with slurred speech. At that time, we had no idea what it was. ALS has no treatment and no cure, and nothing that can be done. So we spent a lot of time researching areas where we could maybe make a difference. So our family and friends gathered together, and as our family does, we worked tirelessly trying to find at least ways that we could make a difference, whether it was the foods that he ate or the doctors that he met or the places that we went, to see if we can't at least extend his life longer and hope for a miracle. And we did. We hoped for a miracle. When his time was getting closer, we realized that the miracle was not coming. But he was going to be in heaven singing and dancing.
As we question why things happened and how things happened and how are we going to get through these things, the last 3 years has been filled for me with God's grace. And it's been a theme that has been talked about in this church for the last year or so, is grace.
We learned that we have to look at things from a different perspective.
And I had to do some reflection because I don't think God's plan is for his children to suffer while on earth.
You know, some of the final moments of his life were surrounded by God's grace.
The perspective of what God wants us to do with this and how we can get through it with his comfort and grace, and then the grace and comfort of our family and the people that surround us at this time.
Heaven is something we have to look forward to. And Satan is still present in this world and suffering is still present in this world, so that now we have an opportunity to lean on God and learn from him, and we have an opportunity to shine that light out to our families, church, community, our own nuclear family, about how strong God is and what that rock looks like.
Surrounded by all of his family and friends. There was no additional suffering during those moments. There was praise songs being sung, tears of joy being shed, knowing that Dad was going to meet God. And the grace that filled that room as each individual came up and held his hand as he ascended to heaven.
We learned that even in the midst of trials, blessings are all around us. The blessings of people praying for us, the blessings of people just sharing with us, the blessing of comfort and peace.
This entire challenge, this entire battle that I've had in accepting this disease, accepting the challenge, both personally and professionally, has been trying to find God's grace in everything.
We were blessed to go to a church service in July, and at that church service we saw Levi Lusko speak. And I think God had blessed us during that time to prepare us to see things in a different way as we were getting closer to the end. His point was that instead of thinking how long you don't have your loved one with you, look at the perspective of how much time has passed till you're going to meet your loved one. So now whenever I look at how long it's been without Michael, I realize that I'm that many days closer to seeing him instead of I have missed him for so many days. And that has been a blessing and has given me strength.
One of the major changes in our family's lives has been the blessing of now 7 grandchildren to my father and mother. And it took 7 little personalities to fill the void that my father's left. Little lives that are going to continue to grow and flourish with the memories and stories that we have to share.
And how do we use what we've learned and the gifts that we've been given, how do we use those in order to get through it and then to make a difference in other people's lives?
He gave us strength as a family, and that's why I think our foundation, it wasn't a question about what the name was going to be. Family Strong was it from the beginning. The family that we are brought into when we accept Jesus Christ